Hello and welcome to Lyon College football. It's the head coach Casey Creehan show, and it's good to have you with us. We are about 30 minutes away from kickoff as Lyon takes on Arizona Christian tonight, and we're glad to have you along on 93 KZLE. And don't forget to get your season passes. Just go to lyonscots.com, click on the icon, and you're on your way. And for membership packages to the Kilted Army, go to lyonscots.com. Just wanted to remind you of that. Well, Coach, kind of had a ball game that started off with a pick, and Miles Baker ends up, I think, with two. But the first one, start of the ball game, you're on defense, first play, and I'm thinking, wow, here we go. But things turn, and this is a pretty good ball club you were playing.
Yeah, they were. Like I tell the team, give credit to the opponent. I mean, they beat us. They did a good job. They played hard. They were well coached, well prepared, and as an overall outfit, I always say to the team, when you lose a game, there's two things you got to do better. You got to coach better. You got to play better, and that's what we got to do.
Mm-hmm. And you're heading into a conference now. And by the way, let's talk a little bit about this conference, because you have over there by your side a good-looking football, and it was sent to you by the conference, has your name on it. That kind of says to me, this conference here is to be reckoned with. They want a class of to be comfortable, and the Sooner Athletic Conference, so you get the football gift, probably a couple others are out there as well, and that kind of, to me, says something about the conference.
Yeah, well, it's been very classy so far. They had a nice media day back in July for all the members, mm-hmm. and our commissioner and our head of officials are tremendous. So it's a great conference, and very similar to the last conference we were in, with the addition of Ottawa University out of Arizona, who is
really
a really good football team themselves. So. We definitely have a high caliber conference we're in.
As I look back at your game against Hendricks, where you used three quarterbacks, I would say you're still kind of looking to see which one might ignite you.
Yes, well, we have three quarterbacks that we obviously feel confident in giving snaps to.
Right.
And, it's a fluid situation. It's the same thing I've told the guys, and, we're competing all the time. And, if someone starts to play better, they'll play more. If not, then they won't. I mean, it's that cut and dry. Right. So, they know how it is. And luckily for us, we have three guys that we feel good about putting in the game right now.
Right.
And they're just going to continue to compete it. And whoever rises to the top, rises to the top. It's the beauty of competition, the American way.
It certainly is. And you'll remember these names: Bradford, Sierra, and Childress. And when we get back, Coach, let's talk about the opponent that you got coming in this week. But you're 1-1, and you get your home game now, so that's a good thing, wouldn't you think?
It is. It'll be nice to be in front of the Batesville town.
Yes, no doubt about it. We'll be back 2-2. Lyon College football. Good to have you along. Lyon College taking on good ball club and our Arizona Christian. And by the way, I want to tell you a little bit more before we get into that question about the purpose of the Lyon College Kilted Army. Formerly it was called, of course, the Booster Club, and it's obviously to promote and encourage Lyon students, faculty members, administration, alumni, community members to support the Lyon College athletic program. Season passes included, with the purchase of a membership as well. And the organization is open to all friends, family, and fans of Lyon College, and we hope you'll become a member. Well, Arizona Christian, they're just pretty good. No, they're not just pretty good. They're really good.
Yeah, they've had a good run in the last few years, and they're very talented. Again, they've scored a lot of points in their first couple of games. They're an athletic team. They're physical. They're twitchy. We're going to have to be on top of our game. Coming on Saturday here.
I guess you probably had a long talk with the defensive coordinator about that, hadn't you? Coach, I'll tell you do a good job defensively as well, and that certainly is noticeable as we watch your team play and progress, because it, like all football teams, it's a work in progress. What do you expect offensively from Arizona Christian?
They're more of a four-wide spread offense. They will put two tailbacks in the game at times and run some option-type stuff with it. But for the most part, they're a spread offense. Their offensive coordinator comes from the CFL just like I do. Mm-hmm. So very similar to what I've been a part of the last 13 years of my career. So
yeah, where they just spread it out across the field,
yeah,
and have all kind of options.
Yes.
Golly, that almost be a nightmare.
They try to put their good playmakers in space and get them out in space, and if you miss a tackle, it's advantage them. You know, so yes. That's the kind of offense they run.
Well, what about defensively? What is your offense to expect?
Defensively, they're very sound. They don't do a ton. They're sound in what they do. They're very good at what they do, but that's what the best defenses do. When you study the best defenses in the history of this game, they really don't do a whole lot. They just, what they do very well, and that's Arizona Christian.
Right quick, like your players are physically, are they holding up? Do you have any injury problems?
We had two really big injuries after the first game of the year, and those are being addressed and coming along. I don't know the status exactly of those guys yet. And then we had another big injury in the Hendricks game, all to the defensive front seven. So, yeah, that's the way it usually works in football. The injury bug attacks one position usually. So, so those are all. Our medical team does a great job, led by Sean Tackett, and they're getting the best care they can get, and we'll get them out on the field as soon as they're ready.
Coach, when we come back, let's talk about your ball club some more, about your expectations as we go through the season. We'll be back with Lyon College football, the Casey Creehan pregame show right after this. I'll tell you, Lyon College football, nothing like it on a Saturday in Batesville, Arkansas. Pioneer Stadium, that's where we are, and Arizona Christian is the opponent. And thank you for tuning in to 93 KZLE for the show. We'll kick it off at 6 o'clock this evening. And don't forget to get your season passes. Just go to lyonscots.com, click on the icon, and it's a done deal. Hey, Coach, it's always good to visit with you. Your ball club is playing in a conference that a lot of schools are like each other in the fact that they've got students, they've got student athletes. And in a school like Lyon College, you've not only got to take care of business on the field, but in the classroom as well.
Well, you do, and it's new for me because we'll start team meetings every day, and I'm used to everyone being in their seat and being there early and being on time, and if they don't they get fined. And here we got guys walking in 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late sometimes. Well, they have lab. I mean,
right.
they're in the classroom, and so it's new to me that way. But we do have great students, and as a coaching staff, we love coaching at this institution because we really believe in the mission statement that this institution has.
These players are sharp. They can pick up quickly.
Yes.
Take us through a typical practice.
Okay, so a typical day starts with meetings. The first thing we do is have a team meeting. Then we get into special teams meetings. From there, we get into our offense and defensive meetings. Once those are done, we get out on the field and we have a walkthrough. And then we stretch, and our stretch period is more of a dynamic loosening type thing as opposed to a static stretch. And then we go into what we call individual period, which is fundamentals. I'm really big on fundamentals. Right. We spend a good 30 minutes a day on individual fundamental period, which is more than probably most people do.
Right.
After that, we typically jump into some type of group work. Broken up by some special teams work,
right.
And then we get into all of our team type activities. And We try to emphasize for the team activities situational football, whether it be backed up or red zone or 3rd and long or 1st and 10. Every team period kind of has its own spin to it.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what, it's a full day.
It is.
No doubt about it. The Coach Creehan Show, Casey Creehan, right before every Lyon College football game, and tonight we are talking before the Arizona Christian game. We'll kick it off at 6 o'clock. Pioneer Stadium. If you're driving around and listening to us as you're mobile, pop on over. See some good football tonight. Coach, always good to visit with you, and I really like that football they gave you. That's nice.
Well, thanks again for having me. Appreciate what you guys do.
Where the